What is up guys, my name is Ruben and welcome back to yet again another video. So in today's video I am going to be showing all you riders out there how to make your bike 10 times, 50 times, even 100 times stronger than it was before you guys watch this video. So let's not waste any time and let's get right into it. So if you guys are frequent riders like me, you guys will be riding your bike, every day to, every few days. So your bike is going to be taking a lot of abuse. And every time you guys are out riding and, hammering your bike away, the parts are going to just, each time get weaker and weaker until they eventually give away and break. Yet instead of having to fork out all that extra dinero to pay for new parts, you guys could have done a few things to make your bike a little bit stronger, or actually quite a bit stronger, which would have made your guys' parts last a lot longer. So without further ado, enough talking, let's get right into tip number one. So tip number one, and probably the most important, is to always keep your stuff strapped up tight. So literally every single nut or axle or bolt on your bike must always be tight every single time you guys go out to ride. So probably the most important part on your bike to keep tight is going to be the front half, otherwise known as the steering kind of area. Basically, your stem has a certain way it must be tightened. I know it's crazy, but there is actually a way that you guys have to tighten your stem, and if you don't, then it could lead to your stem cracking, or your bars cracking, or them just sliding and moving around, all that bad stuff. So right now I'm going to show you guys a certain pattern that you guys have to follow by. It's pretty simple, but some people might not know it, so let's go. So all you guys have to do to keep your stem tight and your bars locked in place is to follow this pattern. So say we're starting at point A on this nut here, and then we go to point B, then point C, then point D, basically just in like an X shape, and basically every time you go around on each bolt, just do a little bit, and just keep on going around until everything is tight. But another thing to mention is these two bolts here called the pinch bolts. So basically you guys want to make these tighten, and I don't know how well I can, yeah, you see that slit going down through the middle. Make sure that is equally as spaced all the way down. So enough of that techie business, moving on down to basically, no brainer with the wheels. Make sure your axles are always tight when you're putting them on. But yeah, moving down to the drivetrain. So for the drivetrain, it's pretty simple, but the number one part that you guys want to make sure is always tight is the pinch bolts, or just the bolts on your cranks. Because, story time, I didn't tighten these down, probably say sometime last year, and I was riding, and the spindle inside kind of like snapped off and got stuck onto one of the bolts on the crank arm. And basically I had to get new cranks, so I learned a lesson there. But basically I'm just letting you guys know so you guys don't have to do the same thing that I did, because it sucked and was super avoidable if I had just simply followed a simple step, which is just tightening the crank. As far as the sprocket go, just make sure it's straight when you guys are running it. It's pretty simple to see, because if it isn't straight you guys probably can't ride it, or fairly wonky, so you guys will know when it's not. And also with the stem, make sure that the top cap is always tight at all times, because that is what's going to keep your forks all snug and tight inside the stem. So that is basically it for everything you guys need to keep tight in. Just every single little axle, every single little bolt, every single little nut, make sure it is tightened down equally and you guys will be good. Now coming in at tip number two is going to be to always keep every single little bolt, nut and thread on your bike greased up, because believe me, it will help you guys out a bunch. The threads on the bolts of your bike play a big part, because if those become stripped or loose, your parts could just come flying off your bike at any moment. Because believe it or not, having something greased or lubed up could be the big difference in whether or not a part breaks on you or doesn't. So same thing with tightening, just like take the stem bolts for example, take them out and just put on a light coat of grease. You don't have to put too much on, just a little bit. And then do that for every single bolt, your pinch bolts, your axle nuts even, your top cap, crank bolt, just literally every single bolt, like every single thing with a thread on it, make sure it is greased. And also, as for your chain, just make sure you guys always have it oiled or at least lubed up somehow, because you guys don't want to have a crusty chain, because it sounds really bad. It's always making that like kind of like cracking, like weird noises. And also it is 20 million times more likely to snap on you, because trust me, it is not having a good time. And when a lot of pressure is being put on it, the links will just be out of there in a split second. And also, do not forget, always keep your headset and your bottom bracket, just all the bearings on your bike, greased up, because they play a big part in the rolling of your bike. And if they aren't greased up, it's going to be really crackly and not smooth. So yeah, just always make sure that your headset and your bottom bracket has a light coating of grease on it, and you guys will be good. Now the last tip, this is something I actually only found out recently because someone told me about it. This is almost like a life hack type thing, but basically it's something you can do to your wheels that basically makes the spokes never ever come loose. Yes, you just heard me correctly. There is a way to make your spokes pretty much never come out. And no, it's not just tightening, it's an extra step you guys can do, and I'm about to tell you guys about it right now. So of course, if your guys' wheel is fairly straight like mine, it's a little bit wonky, but it's not too bad, and the spokes are quite loose, what you guys can do is kind of go around each and every single one of the spokes and just give them a little bit of a tighten, give them a little bit of a turn and just keep on going around the whole wheel until it is tight. But you guys don't want to do one whole side of spokes and then the other side, because that will untrue your wheel and you guys will have a very, very dirty, sticky situation. So what you guys want to do is almost alternate between sides. Just say do like one spoke on this side, then one spoke on the other, then one spoke on this side, and one spoke on the other. You guys should get what I'm saying. So yeah, just don't do one side then the other, because then your wheel will be in a very, very bad state. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for, you guys want to know how to basically get your spokes so they never ever come out. So there is this stuff called Loctite. But if you guys just go to your hardware store and ask for some stuff called thread locker or thread tightener, can vary between the names, they'll hook you guys up with a little bottle of liquid. And basically what this does is if you guys place it place it right in here on the nipple, pretty much where the nipple meets the spoke. Put a few drops in there once your wheel is completely tight. Don't put it in before while it's loose, because it won't just tighten your wheel up. Put it in once your wheel is tight and true and all perfect. And believe me, your guys' wheel or your guys' spokes will pretty much never come loose. Like 9 times out of 10, they will not come loose. So for all you hardcore street riders or even park riders out there, kiss goodbye to your spokes coming out, because yeah, this stuff, thread locker, it's amazing. It will work wonders. So these are just a few little tips that I can give you guys on how to keep your bike stronger, because keeping your bike in good condition and keeping it nice and strong, because your guys' parts will be lasting you a lot longer, which will save you guys a lot of money in the long run. So if you guys have any other methods on how to keep your guys' bike stronger, definitely drop them down in the comments below, because it'd be cool to hear what you guys do. Be sure to smash that like button, and if you guys are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and turn on post notifications for new BMX friendly content every second day. And yeah, so thank you guys for watching. See you in the next video. Peace.